Thomas Sankara, who was born on December 21, 1949, was an influential and revolutionary leader. He served as the president of Burkina Faso from 1983 to 1987 and was known for his charisma and visionary leadership. During his presidency, Sankara achieved significant milestones in various areas, including women's rights, healthcare, education, and land reform. He was a strong advocate for promoting gender equality and empowered women by ensuring their access to education and healthcare services. Sankara also implemented land reform policies to address issues of inequality and exploitation. He aimed to eradicate corruption and reduce dependency on foreign aid, believing that Burkina Faso should be self-reliant and free from external influences. However, his untimely and controversial death on October 15, 1987, raised suspicions that it was orchestrated by his former friend and colleague, Blaise Compaoré. This event sparked ongoing debates and inquiries into the circumstances surrounding his demise, with many people speculating that his death was caused by France, a country with which Sankara was trying to sever ties. One of Sankara's notable actions during his presidency was changing the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, which translates to Land of the Incorruptibles. This decision reflected his belief that the French system was corrupt and exploitative, and he wanted to establish a nation that prioritized the welfare of its people. Sankara dedicated his life to fighting against this corruption and exploitation, and his courageous stance inspired many. Before his death, Sankara left behind a prophecy that emphasized the resilience of ideas. He believed that while individuals could be silenced, ideas would live on. Interestingly, a few months after his death, a baby named Ibrahim Traore was born. Ibrahim Traore would go on to become the youngest president in Africa at the age of 34 and lead Burkina Faso. His leadership style and mindset closely resembled that of Thomas Sankara, leading many to believe that Sankara had returned in the form of Ibrahim Traore, affectionately referred to as the next Sankara by the people. Similar to Sankara, Ibrahim Traore has also challenged the influence of France in Burkina Faso. He led a coup that overthrew a government believed to be supported by France and ruled by French interests. The country's natural resources were being exploited by France, while Burkina Faso and other French African countries suffered from poverty and underdevelopment. Ibrahim Traore's actions and his alignment with Sankara's ideals have prompted a re-evaluation of France's role in the region. In September 2022, Ibrahim Traore, a relatively unknown low-ranking officer who once led an artillery regiment in a small northern town, suddenly rose to prominence. He orchestrated a successful coup against President Paul-Henri Damiba, who had been in power for just 8 months. This turn of events, reminiscent of Sankara's rise to power, thrust Burkina Faso into the global spotlight. The country now stands at a critical crossroads, with Ibrahim Traore's leadership expected to shape its future and that of Africa. Ibrahim Traore firmly believes that the virus plaguing Burkina Faso is France's influence and interference. He has taken steps to reduce this influence by signing business and military deals with Russia, a country that has shown interest in the region and other African countries. Recently, Russian President Vladimir Putin organized a summit in St. Petersburg, Russia, inviting African countries, especially those under France's influence. Ibrahim Traore delivered a powerful and controversial speech at the summit, highlighting how colonial masters continue to wield control over Africa, leading to its persistent poverty despite its abundant natural resources. In his speech, Ibrahim Traore emphasized the need for Africa to forge new relationships that prioritize self-sufficiency and non-interference in their internal affairs. He expressed hope that the Russia-Africa summit would create better opportunities for fair trade and bilateral relations. His message resonated strongly when he questioned why resource-rich Africa remained the poorest region in the world. He urged African leaders not to be puppets in the hands of imperialists and called for self-sufficiency in food supplies and meeting the needs of their people. This summit followed a previous summit hosted by the United States, which did not end well as African countries did not agree with the propositions put forward. Ibrahim Traore's warnings to France and the US regarding their potential threats to Niger's new military leader further intensified tensions. France threatened to attack Niger after the new military leader ousted the government that France had established, and banned the export of gold and uranium to France. The uranium from Niger powers a significant portion of France's electricity, while the majority of Niger's population lacks access to electricity. France's military movements and the evacuation of its citizens from Niger have created unrest and controversy. Thomas Sankara's achievements were significant and impacted various areas of Burkina Faso's development. His commitment to gender equality, environmental conservation, and poverty alleviation left a lasting legacy. Ibrahim Traore's alignment with Sankara's ideals and his efforts to challenge external influences echo Sankara's vision for Burkina Faso. The future of Burkina Faso and its relationship with France and other global powers remain uncertain, but it is clear that Sankara's ideas and principles continue to inspire and shape the country's path. Like and subscribe for more.